What's up, everybody? So it was only a matter of time before Billet got involved with this build. I mean, technically it already has, but you can see I got in front of me. I finally got some really nice, pretty parts in for the good old Ducati Grom. Some of the stuff I already have on, I knocked it out because I'm trying to hit a car show tomorrow, or go to a car show tomorrow. Yeah, a lot of this stuff I got from Ducati. This was a must mod for me when a must-do mod for me when I saw this. But this is essentially the clear clutch cover for a Panigale 1199. You can see I got quite a few parts right here. I got some stuff from Evil Swing Arms, some stuff from Ducati. But this will be the main center of attention right here. This nice, pretty new Billet clutch cover. See-through clutch cover, sorry. So you can kind of see the color combo that I went with. You can see I got the pressure plate right here. Got the spring retaining plate right here with the bolts. And then that silver really set it off because that matches the body of the Ducati Grom. So it should look pretty good. I just got like this standard one right here. But I actually like this color though, to be completely honest with you. I'm actually redoing my exhaust wrap just for that reason, because this ironically matches the titanium exhaust wrap. This got screwed up, so please don't pay attention to the pipe. So all that stuff is coming back off probably tomorrow or Sunday, and I'm going to redo it. Ordered a new pipe, ordered an aero exhaust for this. I know a lot of people were asking in the comments. They were curious because the bike is insanely loud right now, but it actually sounds cool if you hear it in person. So I'm gonna get this clutch plate, I'm gonna get this clutch cover off, try to get these parts installed, and then pretty much go from there. One other thing that I did get, or three other things that I got, sorry, actually four. So I got a Billet slave cylinder, Duca bike as well, anodized red, looks pretty sweet, so I might try to get this installed too. These are pretty easy to bleed. Got a nice new Billet oil fill cap, also Duca bike, black anodized. The one that I got on there is kind of ugly, so I gotta get it off because the aesthetics matter. That's what I gotta understand. It's principalities to this shit. And then a nice major upgrade that will be occurring that is still somewhat Grom based is I got the new Billet sliders for my swing arm, because right now I am playing it pretty crazy. I still got the stock 12mm axle. That's why I'm not really launching the bike, because it's all cool and dandy like when I launch it from a roll and burn the tire and stuff, because it's not putting a crazy amount of load on that axle. But once I start actually launching this thing and seeing if I can hook, that's where we probably run into some problems. So I want to try to address that now. So I actually ordered these from Evil Swing Arm. This is such a common mod that they actually keep these on the shelf. So this is a 20mm axle compatible Grom Evil Swing Arm compatible Billet slider plate, or axle slider, or whatever. So I gotta actually get with DME because they make custom axles. I think it takes like 1 to 2 weeks to actually get those made, or get that made. So I'll have to get everything measured up and ordered. One thing that I am going to do a little bit differently is, since technically that slot is made for a 12mm, I got to open it up 8mm, probably 8.5, just to give it a little bit of clearance. So that'll probably be like 4 and 4 up and down. That's actually taking out some of the material in the wall, inside and outside. So what I'll probably do is end up making some duplicate plates to like either double up or triple up on the wall thickness to add a little bit more rigidity back into that arm. Another thing that I'm also going to do, because I saw a lot of people in the comments when I posted my last video, you guys were worried about the swing arm. Well, technically I'm not done with it. There will be some bracing in the corners, some gussets to actually diagonal gussets to actually add some rigidity in the arm. And then I'll probably do maybe like a bar from under here or to the shock mount. But I know for a fact, just the axle plate faces themselves, those will be getting beefed up quite a bit. So, and the last two things that I actually upgraded, I got the actual official Evil Swing Arm chain guard, because I did have a situation the other day where you guys are going to crucify me for this, but I had a Master Link chain on the bike. So, probably should have upgraded it sooner, but you know how things get when you first get that project running. Everything kind of like hits the back burner. But it was actually kind of a sketchy situation because the chain, I should have left this chain guard off, but it hit my fuel cell right there. So, and the intention of this actual piece right here, this is like a chain guide, but there's a gap between the actual chain and the fuel cell. A piece of Delrin is supposed to be right here, so I'm gonna do that tonight. I just picked up a belt sander so I can get everything nice and ground down, so I still have clearance between the chain and that, and then also a barrier between the wall of the fuel cell and the chain. So yeah, I was playing a little bit crazy, so I gotta correct that. So and then as far as the chain, I actually upgraded to a EK 3D chain. So this is a 520 chain. Very, very nice, high quality chain. Not cheap by any means. This was like a $300 chain. But it is a riveted chain, so it's continuous. Doesn't have a master clip or anything like that. So should be good to go as far as there. So let me jump on the install for this actual clear clutch cover, and then I'm gonna show you guys what it looks like, because I'm trying to get this thing ready for a car show tomorrow, and then I'll probably get some Insta360 footage as well, get on it for you guys, and just get some more videos of me riding the bike. So stay tuned, and I'm gonna get this installed and let's see what it looks like. All right, so fast forward a little bit, got everything going. I really thought this this bearing and this pressure plate was going to be a pain, but it actually came out pretty easy. I just knocked it out, put it in the freezer, and then I heated the pressure plate with a heat gun, and it slipped right in like butter. The cover I still got to tighten. I got to make sure, I got to match up these bolts because these are different lengths, and I wasn't paying attention when I took it apart. So I'm gonna pull up the parts diagram and get those all matched up really good. But man, this thing looks awesome. This is like exactly what this bike needed. Look at this. This is like the cherry on top. So I decided to go with the silver outer. Obviously it matched the body panels. The black really is like the neutral color on this bike. It really sets it off. And then the red to make it pop. And then obviously got to do some raw billet in black. Got to do the raw billet. Just got to. But aero exhaust should be here in the next 2 days. It's a titanium Pro Race aero pipe. Sounds really good. Sounds really, really good on these Ducati engines. So I cannot wait to hear what that sounds like. But let me get this tightened up and take it for a spin. I kind of want to get a video of this. I feel like this will look super cool from looking from the side of the bike. If someone was like standing on the side looking at you ride the bike, I feel like that would look super cool. But yeah, let me get this tightened up the rest of the way and then go from there. So pulled over, took a break. I actually met up with a friend with his super clean ass Fox body. What year is it?
92.
A 92. Super clean too. So I missed the car show they had when I got here, and everybody was already leaving. But I mean, the bike ran beautifully. I think the highest temperature I saw was like 198 degrees at the absolute highest. But now you guys can actually see this pressure plate. I'm sorry, this clutch housing. And this thing looks insanely badass. Insane. So I knew a lot of people were actually asking me if the bike has stock brakes and stuff. No, the bike has had everything upgraded. I am still running the stock rotor. This is a 4-piston Brembo front brake though. Chimera Engineering billet bracket. I got the billet fork lowers. So everything really has already been upgraded. These brakes work awesome. And then I also upgraded the rear caliper as well. Got the Chimera billet engineering bracket as well. I don't really have any complaints. The bike is pretty loud. I think it sounds badass, at least with me riding it. From my perspective, it sounds pretty good. So but yeah, I don't really have any complaints. It's actually a little chilly today. I think it might be like 59 degrees, 55 degrees right now. It's supposed to warm up a little bit later, but today is a pretty good riding day though, for the most part. I'm double layered up, but yeah. What is it? That's that California Duster right there?
Yeah, you're gonna need one for this, the S10.
Oh, for that. Oh, they don't know about that one yet. They ain't ready for it yet.
$20 Walmart.
Yeah. Yeah, I need to get one for the ground too. But yeah, pretty nice day. Been seeing some hot rods come down Woodward through here. It's a Porsche right there. But this bike definitely does shock a lot of people, especially when I like somewhat launch it from a light. This thing it's so fun with the way I have it geared right now. Only thing I might change is, because I did have to make a compromise with the front sprocket, because this was the only one I could get local, so I'll probably have to order one. But this is a 14 tooth front sprocket, so I'll probably end up going to like a 15 tooth. I should have enough adjustment on my chain to do that, but yeah, I think it'll probably be perfect, man. Go up to a 15 tooth sprocket and should be good. Everything else I'm pretty happy with, and it's so nice having a 6th gear too. I'm just so not used to that after riding the YZ primarily. That 6th gear is a game changer, so it feels good. Got greeted. Alright, bro. Get a little fully cool. right, so I made quite a few changes on this thing. I did get the last piece installed on this, which is the Ducati billet slave cylinder, and I gotta say it did make quite a difference. I'm chalking it up maybe to the actual increase in piston size, because I want to say this thing only requires like 60% of input on the actual clutch handle now for it to engage the clutch. So it feels very comfortable. I noticed a difference immediately with it, so it was definitely a nice upgrade. And then it also put that red pop that this side needed, because you obviously can see I got like a red accent thing going on right now. So aside from that, that was a nice little upgrade. But aside from that, I also got the Dale Ren installed. This is working beautifully. You can see it's like self-machining itself. So what I ended up doing on the actual tank is I ended up just making this entire wall of the fuel cell outlined in Dale Ren. So all the way from top to bottom, and then I got a little extension piece right here. I put a little ramp on it so the chain, you know, it'll just slide right into it, and it's doing pretty awesome. Because the one thing I will say is that actually seeing how this chain sits in a static, like, you know, in static form, that's only telling you one thing. Under different loads, this thing will wobble around a little bit, so you can actually see, how high it was getting. So there was a while to where this was actually hitting my tank. I had a very close call about 2 weeks ago, before I had the chain guard on and the Dale Ren outlined on the tank, because I just, out of pure stupidity, I had a master clip chain on this thing, and I had no business being on here. So now I actually have a really nice EK3D chain right here. This has like a 9600 tensile strength. So I learned a lot about chains the past 2 weeks or so, and it was definitely a price difference between that and a regular like a DID dirt bike chain. That EK3D chain was like almost $300, but it's very high quality. It's actually an X-ring chain, so it's super high quality. It's probably like one of the best bike chains you could buy. Another thing that I had to do, and this is also in relation to the fuel tank situation, I had to actually modify the left side wheel spacer, because I noticed that, I don't know if something changed with these wheels, or maybe I accidentally put the wrong spacer on when I installed them, but the chain, it was ever so slightly off, so the chain was hitting the back of the fuel cell. I know, sketchy, right? So I ended up having to actually move the wheel towards the left side of the bike a little bit, and now the chain is tracking straight. Everything looks beautiful, and the Dale Ren is doing its job nicely. I ended up using VHB tape to put the Dale Ren on there. I had tried epoxy. It was like the JB Weld epoxy is good for bonding things to aluminum. That failed very quickly. Then I actually did some research, and somebody told me about the VHB tape, and this stuff is a beast. It bonded like instantly, and it hasn't bulged. Very good stuff. I highly recommend it if you are trying to adhere something to another surface. I would definitely recommend the VHB tape. It's the 3M brand, and it works beautifully. Let's see what else. So enough people have actually complained, and I did some research, and I actually settled on this new pipe that's going on the bike. This is a titanium Aero Pro Race exhaust. This is actually for a Monster 1200, but it ended up working out pretty good, because I kind of just wung it and ordered this, but this actually worked out pretty good. This is about the length of the current pipe, the straight pipe that I have on there. This pipe up here, like pre-weld, this will end up getting shortened. That mount will come off, because I'll be welding a titanium V-band to this to make it easily removable. I'll also probably be doing the same thing on this pipe right here. This is a stainless pipe, so I'll end up welding a same size V-band on that, just so I could do a nice before and after, or, you know, switch back if I ever wanted to, or so I'm still waiting on the titanium V-band to come in. I was hoping to have this installed for this video, but I really want to get this out today because I got a little bit of free time and I didn't get my V-band in time. But just as a test, I did try yelling through this pipe, and I'm pretty impressed because you can see like it's straight through, but you can also see there's like material on the side, like whatever they use for like mufflers. But I was pretty surprised at how even yelling through this thing, like how much it dampened like my yelling through it, which is pretty crazy. Like I think this might actually end up working out pretty good because the videos only do it so much justice with how this thing sounds, because like if you guys heard this thing in person, like it sounds really deep and it definitely has a Ducati tone. But you also have to remember my Insta360, the mic, it kind of, I don't know, maybe I need to get like one of those like mic feathers or whatever it is people put on like microphones, so it muffles it a bit. But the mic isn't the best on it, so I would definitely take what you hear with a grain of salt in the videos that I have posted online. Like you really have to hear this thing in person. But I think this will end up working out pretty good, and then it'll also look pretty badass too. I heard a lot of good things about these Aero exhausts. I hear they sound pretty good on the Ducati stuff specifically, so can't wait to get this installed. I ended up ordering this through RevZilla. I had a bunch of RPM cash, and I ended up getting this for maybe like 200 bucks. So it didn't break the bank because obviously, like a lot of the bike people know, these exhausts are not cheap for this stuff. That's kind of why it was hard for me to bite the bullet until I found this one right here, because I really did not want to spend $1,000 for an exhaust system that I would probably only end up using the can from, because this is a completely custom exhaust system that I got on my bike, and yeah, I can't use a Ducati exhaust system on it. So can't wait to get this installed. Next video I'll actually have a sound clip of this, show you guys what it looks like installed, and then I'll do a before and after. But yeah, pretty tasteful upgrades. Tune-up has been getting worked on. The bike was running rich in the last video, the riding video that I posted, but that was more so for me to just get a baseline, do a couple of watt pulls, because I did have to delete the upper row of injectors because the velocity stacks were too tall. So I'm running on the lower set of injectors, but this bike basically comes with two 45-pound injectors per cylinder. So cumulative is 90 pounds of injector. No, I do not think the bike is actually utilizing all that 90-pound injector per cylinder, because I'm sure there's a blend that's happening, because at the higher RPM, you actually gain horsepower from the upper injector spring, because you get like a cooling effect on the charge air coming inside in the engine. So that's a whole subject within itself. So I'm sure there's probably a blend going on to where the lower injector is turning off at the higher RPM range, and the upper injector is ramping in and taking a bulk of the load. But that was the reason for me actually riding the bike around. I know a lot of people were commenting that, oh, it didn't sound like it was running right and stuff like that. A lot of parts in that video, I was actually playing with the throttle. I was kind of like being an ass with the throttle, just like revving it back and forth. But the thing, it definitely still ran hard, even with that safe tune. Like it was idling at like like 12 to 1, which is like pretty crazy. That has been leaned out. Now it's, I want to say like 13.5 at idle. I think it could probably be leaned out a little bit more. I'm kind of shooting for like 14, mid 14, low 14. But it's been so long since I messed with anything NA. Like all my projects have had turbos on them and ran on E85. I'm still going back and forth with if I'm going to put this on E85 just because I can with the Fueltech. I mean, it's literally like a hop, skip, and jump to put this on E85. I already got the ethanol sensor and everything, so I am kind of curious to see how this thing would react to E85. But you can see the sensor right there. That's nicely tucked behind this plastic cladding right here. So I don't know, we might experiment with it. I mean, I don't have a lot of tank volume, but I think I'm going to come up with a solution for that. I want to say this bike right now, as it stands, between the top tank and the bottom tank, it holds about 2 gallons. But what a lot of people seem to look past is the curb weight of this thing. I mean, this weighs a lot less than a Ducati Panigale, and that has a big bearing on what type of fuel mileage you get. I actually drive around quite a bit on this thing before I have to fill up. I want to get some concrete numbers, which should be easy to do since I have the Moto Gadget, because my PDM, it logs all of the mileage. And then I also have a
Mo Ride Ready.
Listen to that greeting. I also have a fuel gauge now. So this actually, how this works is, man, I wish I can get a better, see if it'll, there we go. So how this works is you basically put in your tank size, and the only thing you have to stay consistent with is how high you fill the tank up, which is pretty easy on the bike. I mean, if you fill it up to the filler neck, it might maybe be off by a hair or so, but it's not enough to be a deal breaker. But you basically put in the tank volume, so that's about like 2 gallons on my bike. And then there's a reset button right here to where you can, so I'll do it right now actually. So you see where this tank, where it's reading right now? If I hit this reset button, which I would do every time I fill up with the gas, it maxes it out to the top. And based on this point right now, so when I start the bike, based off the injector flow rate or the fuel flow rate or whatever, it can calculate how much fuel you have in the tank. I have my YZ set up the same way, and it is pretty damn accurate. I don't know what type of wizardry they have programmed in this, but it works really, really good. So I have been testing it back and forth, and it seems to be pretty accurate. So there are a few times where I just have to run the bike completely out of gas just so I can, just for the sake of accuracy, just to see how far it's off or on par. But so far it seems to work pretty good. So this is a nice little touch too. I ended up getting an entire quad lock setup. So I got this handlebar clamp, I got the vibration dampener, and then I have the wireless charger, and it works beautifully on this. This was like the key the key thing that I was missing on the bike. I have the switch under the seat. It's right next to the battery. Wired that in really neat, loomed everything up real good. And this thing is just it's just awesome. This quad lock stuff is very high-end, well engineered, and yeah, I'm pretty happy with it. But yeah, I think that's and then yes, I do see this right here. I gotta fix this coolant leak right here that I got on this hose. I gotta recut that hose and reclamp it. So I know someone's gonna say something about that in the comments. But yeah, all in all, this thing has been running pretty good. I'm actually about to take it out today, get a few logs, see if we can get the tune cleaned up a little bit more, and yeah, pretty much go from there. But yeah, it's rolling pretty good. This tank, I do need to put some dampers on this, some rubber dampeners, just to isolate this from the NVH coming through the swing arm, because this engine does vibrate this chassis like crazy. Like my wrist actually went numb the other day, so I got to look into some type of like isolator on the handlebars or something, or even potentially some poly mounts or something. But yeah, if you guys haven't yet, please subscribe. Please hit that bell notification, because this is more so where I post my long-winded updates on this stuff. I know a few of you guys follow me on Instagram and TikTok. I post shorts on there and stuff. So if you haven't already, please go subscribe to me. Please subscribe to me on here. Go follow me on TikTok, Instagram, and yeah, this is I know I got quite a bit of new followers, and a lot of these guys, you know, they know me from the Ducati Grom stuff. I do have 2 other builds. I got the Turbo YZ that was making like 130 horsepower last year, so it's still a single cylinder, runs on pump E85. This year I will be experimenting with methanol with it, with my new 500cc turbo setup. I'm gonna try to push for 160 horsepower on the single cylinder architecture, same turbo and everything. And then lastly, my main build, which is my 5,000 horsepower twin turbo billet Hemi street truck. It's a 2001 S10 Extreme. if you go on my page, you can find out more about that. That'll be a pretty crazy street truck build. Still has air conditioning, still has AC seats. I got an iPad in the dash for watching movies in the lanes, all that good stuff. But yeah, that'll be a game changer. So 540 billet Noonan Hemi, water jacketed, big block, 13-to-1 twin 110mm turbos. It's, yeah, Mark Mickey trans. So if you haven't already, go check that out. But like I said, please subscribe, and yeah, just stay on the lookout. I'll be posting videos, another video later this week, and yeah, just stay tuned. Peace.